Welcome back to Locker Room Dads, hosted by myself, Pat O'Donnell, punter for the Green Bay Packers. Alongside me is my guy, Josh Brinzo, co-host of the show and brewery owner here in South Florida. Today's guest on the show, he needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. Miles is a two-time All-Star who has the best mustache in the game and throws gas, just straight gas. Correlation, I think so.
Yeah.
But most importantly, he has three amazing children and is a locker room dad. Four?
Four, yeah.
Is this
My
breaking
youngest
news?
it's probably not. He's only one, so I don't know. If
Okay. Yes, that counts.
Yeah.
Miles, man, welcome to the show. Super pumped.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Dude, so where are we catching you right now? I know you threw, yesterday?
I threw yesterday, so this is just like my office. Like I've got my jerseys from the Cardinals.
Oh,
This is nice.
From Tokyo and San Diego and all my stuff. Some of my wife's memorabilia. She got kind of famous in Japan for a little bit. Some Japanese awards up there, and all the plans for the house we're building.
All right.
Down there, so.
Is the house going to be here at Jupiter?
Yeah, it's like a mile down the road from where we are now. It's out here in the farms.
Oh, nice.
Got a big 9-acre piece of land, and we're just going to real spread out. We're going to do like the chickens and the garden and all that kind of stuff.
Living the dream,
Farms
man.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh.
It in.
Dude, actually, that segues into my question here.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Josh, before we start, is like, do you know his nickname? I'm like, no, I don't. Josh, why don't you ask the question?
Yeah, I heard a little story, and I'd like to ask you about it. But I know your nickname is Lizard King, and I love it. I think it's the greatest thing. So I need to hear a little more. I'm sure others may know it.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I can't escape it. It's So I was in the Arizona Fall League. Like they send the teams send like all their prospects to Arizona for this little like 20, 30 games little like mini season in Arizona. And I caught it because I'm quick like that. I caught a lizard in the bullpen, and we were trying to get everyone like to eat it. Like, oh, eat this. We're trying to get everyone. And then of course, because I caught it, it comes back to me like, well, why don't you eat it? So I ended up getting like a couple $100 and I just housed it. And the Fall League, the rules were really lax. Like one of the guys had their phone in the bullpen, so he filmed the whole thing. And it ended up on YouTube, and it's, you hit one home run, you're not a home run hitter. But if you eat one lizard, you're like the guy that eats lizards.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I haven't eaten one since. It's not like a part of my diet. I'm not running around South Florida grabbing iguanas. I'm not Bear Gryllsing it out there, but I will rise to the challenge when presented with one.
I like that. I don't know if I've ever eaten a lizard, but I mean, I don't know.
I think you can house an iguana.
Well,
just nice, like flay it up.
I hear that I saw a dude on Instagram did like the whole like catch and cook. They caught it. They supposed to taste like frog legs. They eat iguanas down in parts of South America like
delicacy.
Normal
so this is just normal.
Yeah. South Florida, South America.
I like it.
Same thing. Hopefully your kids aren't eating lizards. Are they doing that yet?
No, my son is. I don't know if he still is, but like as of a couple of months ago, was terrified. A frog jumped on him outside. He came inside like you thought I thought he fell and like broke his arm because he was in tears. He's like, Dad, Dad, Dad. I'm like, what? He goes, the frog jumped on me. I was like, oh, sorry.
You probably got a lot of frogs out there in the farms.
Yeah, those big, like tree frogs, and then those big cane toads, the big.
Oh yeah, the buffalo toads. Yeah,
everyone in Hollywood's tripping on those now.
Yeah, they're big.
That's the thing. I read an article on it.
We're gonna see people out here just catching them and shipping them off.
Yeah,
no, they have a toxin in them. It's like a hallucinogenic.
Yeah, not good for your dogs, but I know some people were catching them.
I've heard people's dogs get addicted to them.
We gotta take our dog to rehab.
No.
That's pretty crazy.
On the streets.
The streets
of Jupiter. I love it.
So streets of Jupiter, Florida, yeah.
The mean streets of Jupiter, Florida are a tough spot to raise a kid. How old is your oldest? And your youngest is 1, right?
My youngest is 1. My oldest will be 6 on the 20th of March. So that's coming up. And my 2 in the middle, they're twins. They're 4.
Okay.
They'll be 5 in July. So
you have a nice little spread here.
Yeah. We're just, clumped together, 2 boys, 2 girls, but we're, pretty close in age. So once we're out of, hopefully we'll be out of diapers in a year or so, and then it's done.
You feel good about it, or you want to keep going? 4 is good.
4 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you have one more, you got to have 2. You have to even numbers. So we had 3, and I thought we were done after twins, kind of, just because twins is.
Oh yeah.
It's tough on everyone. Tough on my wife. She's incredible. She's like the Incredible Hulk of moms. Like when it comes to momming, boom, like she can handle anything. And she handled the twins, and that's tough because I'm on the road during the season. I mean, you know how it is. And you're out.
Sure.
And your wife is sometimes it's kind of like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Like I can't. I wish I could help, but the circumstances. And we're at a fair one time, and like a year ago and 2 years ago. And the 2 girls are in like one bumblebee, like spinning a circle, and then my son is in the other one, just like all by himself. She looks at me like, "We're having another kid," and I was like, "Okay."
Well, it wouldn't drop that like that, yeah.
That easy.
Yeah, like we
that.
we did discuss it. Like even numbers is better. He needs to have even if it ends up being a girl, just for there to pair off in certain and someone not be left out. And we were graced with a boy, so 2 boys, 2 girls, and
they're already that's nice.
Like karate. He's teaching Miles is teaching Rhett how to karate fight, and they've got these like knights of the round table kind of paper swords, and he's coming along. He's coming along good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
The twos thing too, like talking about having an even number. We had 1, and I was fighting it for a while because I was really happy with 1, even though I wanted 2. And then everyone was telling me, you got to have an even number.
Yeah. You have 3, you have the middle child, and it's a problem.
So you have 2, and how many do you have?
Same. I have 2. I have a daughter that's the oldest, son about 6 months.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah. So we're in it right now, man.
Yeah.
Basically 2 kids under 2, almost.
I'm kind of curious for you. So you've got a little bit of an age gap now. I was just holding my little boy Bennett. He's 3 months old, and I was getting puked on, changed him, got puked on again. I was like, all right, I don't think I missed this, but I don't know. Cause now I'm looking at what was the harder stage, for an age range. And like now my daughter Billy's back talking me and she's like 2. I'm like, okay, well now I can't decide.
It never stops. It never stops. We, and every kid, it's, when you have 4, especially when you have 2, you'll start seeing that every kid they can be night and day. They can handle things completely different, and each kid is their own, and they come and there's some nature and there's some nurture, and you can try to swim this way and that way, and you have to treat some kids differently, and what the mind games like. Oh, I know I can say this and get him to do that. To get her to do this, I have to say this. And I have to do that. But we just got new toothbrushes. And one of the twins didn't get the color toothbrush that she wanted. Like 20-minute meltdown. Forget it. It's like,
no.
You're going to get new toothbrushes again in like a couple months. You can pick the one, but I wanted the pink and purple one. And her older sister got it. So it's things like that. It's like, the irrationality of children sometimes. Like,
yeah.
My cup is blue. I wanted the red one. It's like, it doesn't matter. Everyone's drinking apple juice. It's a color cup. Yeah.
How do you know what battles to fight, though?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, is it worth the 20-minute I don't know. You'd be like, I'll just Amazon another one.
Yeah, but sometimes
you can't, though, right?
At some point, you just got to learn, like, you get what you get and you don't get upset. The car
Fair
seat,
enough.
you just, rotate it.
Yeah.
Who sat in the front of the car seats last time? Okay, well, now you're sitting in the back, and now it's your turn. You take turns, but when you buy stuff, just buy everything in beige.
That's a good idea.
Super neutral.
Color neutral.
This is a good tip.
God, I was going to ask you for some tips. You're already spitting them out.
That's a good one.
This is amazing. But, all right, so Jupiter, Florida, you're doing spring training here. Mm-hmm. You grew up here. What is that like? Are you, like, thankful, like, you can have the family there? Or are you, like, a guy that just wants to do his work, get in the right frame of mind for season? What is that like for you?
I love having my family around. It's great. They were at my game the other day. My wife stayed home with my youngest because it's hot and it's like right in the middle of his nap time. Yeah. And she says that she likes to watch it on TV sometimes because you can't see a whole lot from the stands. And she wants to see more of the game sometimes. But my mother-in-law and my mom, like they took the 3 older kids, and I'm warming up on the bullpen before the game, and they walk down and they're yelling, Dad, throw strikes, Dad, do this, and then I can hear them screaming from the stands. They're eating like Dippin' Dots and screaming at me, and I think it's great. And then today, my wife Lauren picked them up from school and brought them to the field. I got out. If you're a veteran guy, you don't have to stay for the whole game of spring training right away. So I came out after the 5th inning, and they came out. We played on the backfields.
No,
that's awesome.
Some baseballs, play tag on the turf, on our turf field. Get them a snack from the kitchen. Let them, like some of the other guys would leave in the locker room, so they get to, there's Lars, there's Tommy, like their favorite players when they watch the games on TV. So it's fun. It's great. It's great, and they love it. And it, I think it's because they're old enough now. I want them to remember, because people I feel like sometimes they don't realize, like, hey, your dad's got a really cool job. Not everyone gets such a cool job. Like I want them to like be a part of it and remember it. And, hopefully I play long enough to where they're old enough they can, be in the outfield like during batting practice and things like that.
Yeah, that'll be great. I think for a lot of people listening too, and I'm sure you would agree, like Roger Dean and the spring training facility for the Cardinals and the Marlins is such a great family friendly atmosphere. Yeah. It's like super chill compared to a lot of other spring training sites. And I think it's like perfect for bringing a kid to.
They're getting ready to redo like the whole stadium, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that was something they were going to do.
At least the locker rooms. I know they're doing that. Our locker rooms are really old.
Yeah.
But it's spring training, so I feel like that's how it's supposed to be.
That's the feel, right? Like it's
spring training, like let's hurry up and get out of here because I don't want to be in the plywood locker anymore. I want to be in like my big, my big
your home locker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good spot though. And I mean, you can't beat the Florida weather. It's great. So
no, it's starting to get a little hot. It was warm all winter here. We didn't have any good cold fronts.
Yeah.
The fishing was a little slow because of it. We didn't get like that really hot sailfish bite with all the nice cold fronts that come down.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I was waiting
fishing.
for it. Yeah.
I know. I want to talk. Pat wants to talk fishing. I don't fish. I've gone fishing.
I got to get you guys out next winter now that we're podcast friends.
I'd be all about it. Listen, I have wanted to go deep sea fishing so bad since I've lived here, and I have not done it. But I need to hear about this.
It's fun. I mean, there's so much you can do, like off the East Coast right here. You can go like a 15-minute ride, like right out to the ledge in like 100 feet, and you can bottom fish like grouper, snapper, catch your kingfish, and maybe the mahi swim by. You can fly kites for the sailfish, maybe get lucky like a wahoo or tuna. You can go way out like 20 miles. You can deep drop for like swordfish, which is really fun because you usually sometimes we catch them, but we usually see some other stuff out there. Like last time we didn't catch a swordfish, but we saw this big floating log and we ended up catching 4 wahoo.
Okay.
Which was really nice. Or you can, if you've got like a full day and the weather's really nice, you can cross all the way to the Bahamas and you can fish like the Bahama Bank, which is, I mean, we fished the Bahamas once this year. We came back, me and 5 other guys, probably everyone ate fish for lunch and dinner 7 days in a row.
Oh, you guys killed it.
That's pretty good.
I mean, you can go over there and catch a boatload of fish.
What's your favorite type of fishing? I know it's a process. Like when you put a kite up in the air, like you're pretty dedicated to that for the day.
I like bottom fishing because the action can be a little more consistent. And I like jigging. Like you drop the jigs to the bottom because when you're jigging that up like real fast and something hits it, it's like instant gratification when something when you're kite fishing, you get to see it. And when you're deep dropping and like doing some of the swordfish stuff, like way out deep, it's all electric reels and you don't feel like you're fighting the fish. And
what's the biggest fish you caught or most impressive fight that you have on record?
Oh, the biggest fish, we caught like 160-pound swordfish a couple years ago. It's on my Instagram. I mean, I'm holding it like this.
Shameless plug at Miles Mikolas
at Magic Necklace 39 at Instagram something. But yeah, that and like I caught a nice like maybe like 60, 70 pound tarpon down in the Keys on my bachelor party. I've caught some big snook in the river.
Yeah,
those are fun. I like to fish inshore too. I mean, it's anywhere.
So let's see. Catching a big fish. All right, you've that 160 pounder. Is that harder than going 9 innings in a complete game?
No, because that was an electric reel. But I'll tell you what. I've never been on one of those. I've never like hand cranked something for like 2 hours because you see those videos of guys.
Oh yeah,
big tuna, and they're like 2 hours in, still cranking on it. I mean, that's about how long you're pitching in like a complete game because you're pitching good. The game's pretty quick. You're like 2.5 hours. And with the pitch clock now, it's even more sped up. But like to be fighting a fish for like physically for 2 hours, I think. I mean, it's in the future. It's on the bucket list. I mean, people catch big tuna out here off Palm Beach all the time. You just got to be here in the summer. Because the summertime is when you run across. You got to talk to Bosher about it. Summertime is when you run across into the Bahamas, and you could get on those like big schools of yellowfin, like 70, 100 pound like yellowfin tuna.
Oh, nice.
And it's pretty wild from what I understand.
I feel like after reeling for like 2-3 hours, you look like you threw a complete game. Get the ice on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
The shower. You got a little food after.
Yeah. I fought an amberjack for like 25 minutes this winter, like a couple weeks ago, and I flopped that thing onto the deck, and I like grabbed a donut. I was like, I need a break.
That's a good reward, though.
Yeah,
you earned it.
Do the kids ever go fishing with you, or is that strictly dad's time to just unwind?
I'm always trying to get them into fishing because as soon as they can be like, Dad, let's go fishing. Mom, let's go fishing. I'm like, well, sorry, honey.
There you go.
Yeah, kids want to go.
Bonding.
Yeah, but they don't like the. My daughter Madeline calls them the wobbly waves. Dad, it's too wobbly. So we stay like in the intercoastal, and we'll just like anchor up and catch, like little blue runners and like snappers from under. But I'm getting into it. We fish the lake behind the house with like shiners for bass and stuff like that. They like it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they play with the fish in the bucket, like the shiners. They play with those more than they fish. But as long as they have fun, that's okay.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting Billy out on the golf course because she definitely likes getting out a little bit and just swinging the club.
Yeah.
She didn't do a good job, but
she's in a good spot.
I'm looking forward to it.
Scholarships, man. They're giving them out.
That's a good
giving them out.
One of the most unused scholarships is equestrian.
We had that at Baylor. Went to Baylor. They had big equestrian program. That was scholarship heaven.
That's big out here, and that's big out here in the farms too.
Yeah,
out here.
What is it more? Is it jumping or dressage?
Yeah,
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Showing
dressage,
horse dancing.
They're one and the same.
Yeah, there's 3 categories, I believe. Sad that I know this. Our good friend Preston, his sister, does this. It's vaulting, I think, dressage, and something else.
Well, you have the floor.
Cross country.
There you go.
I got it. I know my horses.
Billy starts riding some horses.
Yeah, I'm terrified of horses.
And if your kids are really small, then they're just jockeys.
Yeah, that's right. We're winning the Derby.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
Oh, all right. Miles, what is the best part about being a dad? Best part, hands down.
That's a good transition.
I mean, I guess it would like sound corny, but like just the love, the unconditional love from your children, and like the like the little pictures, like to Dad, love Lillian. Because now that they're starting to be able to write, every day it's at least 1 or 2 pictures. Like, Dad, look, I drew this to Dad, love Lillian, and they're so happy to give it to you. And the hugs, like you come back from a road trip, like the hugs and the smooches, and just that sitting.
Does your wife get jealous, and she's like, "Why do they love him so much?"
Well, no, it's usually to mom and dad from Madeline or Lillian. Then the moments you really enjoy, like the moments of peace. If the baby goes to sleep early, and we can all sit on the couch. I just like to sit on the couch with the kids. Just let's watch like Aladdin. You get to watch. That's the fun part. The kids get older. You get to watch all the good old
Disney movies,
old school Disney movies.
Oh God! Don't get me started. Do you have a favorite Disney movie?
Great. I like The Jungle Book.
Okay.
The Jungle Book, Sword in the Stone. I like the Incredibles movies. Those aren't like the classics, but those are really good. Pocahontas is pretty good. That's like the DVDs must be like stuck in my wife's car because they're watching that every time.
I'm a big Hercules guy. That has been my favorite since I was a kid. I love Hercules.
I don't think we've watched that one in a while. That one's good.
We went through the whole Frozen era and Encanto.
Frozen's big here.
The music, man, it just stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what they were doing with Frozen.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, that lady can sing, and it's not a bad song either.
No. No, but these kids, man, they learn these songs. So my daughter came home from school singing a song I've never heard. And we were trying to like figure it out. She's only 2, so like not everything's crystal clear.
Yeah.
And it sounded like she was singing Slippery Fish. And I was like, what is this song? Like, is this a Miles song?
Yeah.
And it is. Song. This song is called Slippery Fish. And she was actually singing it like word for word, which was pretty impressive. And it's about a fish getting eaten by an octopus. And like something else happens to the octopus. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a brutal song for a kid to learn. Like everything's getting eaten.
It's like Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go look that up.
Yeah, that's not a good one either.
Pockets full of posies. Ashes, we all fall down. Gah.
Oof.
Morbid. Around back in the day.
Morbid.
Yeah, they did not mess around. So I know one of the things Pat and I actually were talking about, I know you mentioned it earlier, was Japan.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. We haven't had a lot of people on here that have lived abroad.
Okay.
And I kind of want to know what it's like living in a place where I can almost guarantee, safely saying this, you probably did not have a Japanese background going there. And I want to know. I hope I'm proven wrong because I really want to hear about it now.
Like the universe is like a super weird place, right? Or like, like coincidences. My dad and my mom actually lived in Japan for like, I want to say it was like a year, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Like, right when my brother was born, my dad was like doing some stuff overseas for McDonald's, and they had him over there, and like he was like doing stuff with like McDonald's corporate over there, and they lived in Japan in like the mid 80s.
Wow.
For a little bit. And then I got a chance to go there, so it's funny.
How different is it there? Because I just feel like it's a completely different lifestyle.
It is. Super cool. Japan is super awesome. I think you could, as a tourist, I think you could knock it out in like 2 weeks. You might as well be there for a while because it's like a full day of travel, like a 15-hour flight.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. The food is great. The food is incredible. Like the shrines, the temples, and it's weird. Like living in the United States, like you look around, you're like, oh, like this building is like 200 years old. You walk around these Japanese temples, and sometimes you're like, man, this is pretty old and like rickety looking. And then you remember, like, okay, well, they've been on the island of Japan for like 3,000 years.
Yeah.
So like they've got these like buildings and temples that are like 8, 9, 100 years old, like 1,100 years old. And it's like the history is really cool, and like the architecture is really neat. I mean, the Japanese gardens, like the cherry blossoms, it's beautiful. If you go during spring, the weather's better for walking around, and you could still catch snow like up in Hokkaido, that northern island, and you'll catch the cherry blossoms. Like the food is amazing. The fruit, if you're like a fruit person, like peaches, apples, strawberries, the best. Mangoes, the best. The square watermelons.
This all but confirms it as number 1 on my bucket list to visit.
It's super cool.
I want to go to Japan so bad. It's top
strong. Number 1.
Yeah. Okay. I want to buy a car and bring it home.
Places you go, they speak a good amount. Like English would be like the second language.
Okay.
There, like so, there's usually, especially in the big cities like Tokyo, Hiroshima, like down Osaka, like you'll see a lot of signs in Japanese and in English. The subway system, like super clean, super safe. This is great. Great baseball fans too. Love it. Love baseball.
Yeah. That's like the coolest thing. You played in front of some pretty good crowds then, because I know they go nuts for baseball there.
Tokyo Dome, 40,000 sold out every game.
That's
really?
Sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Especially when Miles on the mound.
If you put the Tokyo Dome or the Tokyo Giants in with like Major League Baseball, they'd be like the 3rd or 4th highest attendance every year. Right behind,
that's amazing.
Right behind like the Cardinals and I think like the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers seat like 60,000 and the Tokyo Dome's only 40.
That's crazy. They're just packing the house every night.
Yeah, and it's loud. It sounds like one of those Nintendo games from like 1994. Like they got the trumpets, the horns, they're waving the flags. I mean,
I love that.
Pretty cool.
That sounds like a great atmosphere.
So you were single then, right? No kids, no wife. You met your wife in Japan?
No, wife. Yeah, wife. We were married, so we had to decide to go to Japan on our honeymoon. My agent called me on my honeymoon. Hey, you want to go to Japan? Like, we got to know like tomorrow. So we're like sitting at dinner on our honeymoon, like going over like, oh yes, no, the pros and cons, and then it's like, well, what are they paying you? And then I'm like, well, they're going to give me like $1 million, and she's like, we're going. Like,
that's an experience in itself.
Yeah.
Too. Oh.
Yeah.
So where were you on your honeymoon?
We went to Mexico. We're in Cancun.
Okay. All right.
Those big resorts. Those like just big resorts on the beach. It was great.
Yeah.
And kind of not halfway. I was hoping maybe Hawaii, so you can take a little 4-hour flight.
No. It's a long flight. You go from like Palm Beach to New York, and then you go from New York, you go over top to Japan.
Over top, like
around,
Canada.
You like over like the North Pole. You go like straight over the top.
A lot of flying.
Oof, North Pole.
Sounds brutal.
Yeah, I don't think the Earth is flat. If you guys are flat earthers, I don't know. But I've been on the plane over the North Pole. I'm not sure it's flat. I think it's round.
You think it's round?
I was about to put my tinfoil hat on here.
It's a good choice.
We should start that.
I've heard compelling arguments. We've got a guy on the team here that's like on the fence. He's like, I think it's flat. I'm not sure. So it's good conversation.
You got to tell him to fly to Tokyo then.
I don't know if he's ever been that far. So
do you sit there and just belt out conspiracy theories and see where he falls in it?
What bites?
We do that too. We do that at the breakfast table.
So, baseball's different than football. Like you can't be on the sidelines in a football game, like shooting the shit, right?
I mean, I can.
Yeah. Okay.
The other guys, no.
But maybe I'm a starting pitcher, so I'm every 5 days. And yes, I'm watching the game very intently if the coaches are listening. Very intently. I'm always watching the game. But there's also like side conversations in between the action. And it's 162 games.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I feel like that makes it tough for
aliens,
conversation.
This, that, conspiracies, Earth is flat, it's round, ancient Rome, the Egyptians, who built the pyramids, like anything you think of. 162 games, you got time to talk about it. 162 games is 82 games on the road. It's like 30 some odd plane flights, sitting there playing cards for 4 hours like every other couple days. We talk about it. We cover the very broad range of.
What do you guys play for cards? I want to see if it's comparable to what the guys play.
We usually play Hold'em.
Okay.
Last year we started doing like dealer's choice, so we play like Hold'em, 5-card draw, like little 7-card stud. I try to watch rounders like every month to make sure that I'm really on top of what I'm doing.
He's on his game. I like this.
Do the clubs make the trip? We had another pitcher on this podcast, and he says he brings the clubs on the plane. And I'm like,
always.
I guess it's not a bad look if you're resting, but at the same time, like, do they want you sitting in the room? Or you're out playing? Like, are you locked in?
I'm a big golf the day after I pitch. If I can golf the day after I pitch, like that's 100% my day. You're walking the course, you're stretching the legs, you're flushing the body out.
It's good for your body.
Stretching out, clear your head a little bit. And with when my family, so I don't golf at all during the winter. And when my family's in St. Louis, I don't golf at all in St. Louis. I only golf on the road.
All right. So do you have a favorite course you look forward to?
My clubs. One of my favorite courses to play is Oakmont.
Okay.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Not a lot of water, almost no water, not a lot of trees. It's hard to lose a golf ball.
Have you found the pews?
No, I haven't ended up in the pews yet.
That's good.
Knock on wood. I'm going to end up.
Fancy little bunker there.
The pews?
Oh, yeah.
You've
nice
played?
No, I'm not there. I haven't played there, but I know it.
Okay. All right.
It's got the nice little slatted bunker, though.
I was impressed for a minute. I was like, wow.
I don't play that much.
There in Pine Valley.
Okay.
Pine Valley is a good course. And I did not end up in their famous bunker with the inappropriate name for the Locker Room Dad show.
Listen, You can have locker room talk right now. You can. Okay.
They have this bunker at in Pine Valley. It's like a hole straight down. They call it the Devil's Asshole. And like if you hit it into the bunker, they tell you they're just like just
pick it up.
Like,
Yeah.
It's impossible.
How big is it? A really big bunker? Like you're gonna hit it, or is it like one of those like little bunkers?
It's maybe like 12 feet across, but then it's like 12 feet straight down. Like you can't like. I think last time we went there, like here, just drop a ball in there and try and hit it out. You have to
do it.
That's fun.
You have to hit it backwards if you want any chance hitting it out.
Yeah.
You have to hit it backwards and then try to go back over the bunker.
Who are the guys that you play with? Like if you're pitching, the other guys are playing. Who's your foursome if you have a foursome?
Mostly Wayno because he's got all the best. Adam Wainwright's got all the best like golf hookups.
Okay.
And then it's usually like the starters, maybe some relievers if they're on like if they pitch back-to-back days and they know they're going to be down, they'll play. Or if there's an off day, a lot of the position guys will play. Goalie Arenado, pretty good golfers, they'll play.
All right.
But yeah, last year one of the coaches, Maddox, would play. Always want to be playing with us. He's a really good golfer too. He's got like 10 hole-in-ones.
Wow.
On his resume.
10?
Yeah. Yeah. He got another one first.
Was someone there for those hole-in-ones?
Yeah.
Is he that guy that's always like the fish story? Like, oh, I caught this. You should have seen this fish.
I think 2 of them have been in like charity golf tournaments.
That's okay.
He had 2 in the same like week one year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. 10. I hope for one day. Have you had one? A hole-in-one, Miles?
Over at Jupiter Dunes, the par 3.
Jupe Dunes. Oh, the best little dump.
We used to play like 36 holes back in the summer. You can play like 36 holes for like $20.
Yeah. Jupe Dunes. I play Palm Beach par 3 all the time. That's my home.
That's a nice one. That's a nice little course right there.
Oh, the best. Anyone listening, highly recommend it if you're in town.
How about Abacoa? Do you get over here much?
The golf course?
Yeah. No. Crazy right now.
Yeah, their rates too high. I'm going to use this time to dunk on Abacoa for having too high of rates in season.
Go ahead. No.
It's not worth it.
I'm gonna bring us on the move real quick. My battery's down. I gotta go grab a charger.
Oh, that's all right.
So I'll give you like a little tour of the house.
All good.
Welcome to MTV Cribs.
Yes.
With Miles Mikolas here.
I bet they're bringing that back.
They are.
No.
Yes, they are.
Let's go.
That show was actually pretty solid. It used to be like, do people... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to wonder if people really lived like that or not.
I loved when they used to show the refrigerator. I'm like, who stocked the fridge? Like, who organized this? It was definitely not you. But hopefully we can get you on that list. The new crib you're building.
The new crib.
The new crib, I think it might be cribs worthy. It's big.
It's eligible.
It's bigger, it's bigger. You start designing a house with an architect, and you're like, well, we might as well put a gym in. Well, we might as well have a guest house because our parents are getting old. You might as well do this. And then before you know it, it's like, building like a compound. It's fun.
Okay, we could touch on that because I have a teammate that's thinking the same thing. Guest house with their in-laws. You probably are really close with your family.
Yeah.
He's on the fence. He's kind of reluctant, but he's going to do it.
You gotta. That's not something you want to be on the fence about. You want to be like 100% sure that you're cool with your in-laws being there.
You know who has the final say though?
Oh yeah,
wifey.
That's right,
wifey.
If they're if they're her parents, yeah.
Is it your parents that are going to move in?
It depends on who needs to move in first, and there could be, it's a big house. There could be room for other people also. So
there are benefits, free childcare.
Yeah.
So
4 kids,
and you can't beat that.
No.
All right, Josh. Let's get into the travel tips.
Yeah,
my man's been to Japan, everywhere in between.
Yeah, this is kind of like one of the things we always try to ask.
Okay.
Traveling with kids is hard. I road tripped 4,800 miles with my 2 kids. Wasn't bad. Sounds terrible.
In a Kia Carnival. Don't
in a van.
Yeah.
Pat's been flying around with his kids. I'm interested. How do you do it with 4?
We haven't done a whole lot of traveling as a group. We're getting ready to fly out to Arizona for the World Baseball Classic. Team USA, pretty pumped to be a part of that. And we're taking them all out to Arizona for like 10 days, and then we're coming back. And we'll be in Miami for a couple days. But, I mean, it's all preparation. And my wife is Mrs. Prepared. It's incredible. She's good. And she can pack a suitcase, like rolling up the kids' clothes, like almost like a Cuban cigar roller. Just their pajamas are so tight.
A sushi roll, like super tight.
And they're stuffed in there so tight. You just got to roll with it. And I think sometimes it's appeasement. Just
snacks.
Yeah.
Screen. Books.
Yeah. So they get like zero. Like we have like those little Amazon like Fire tablets.
Yeah.
They don't touch those 99% of the time. But when we travel, when we fly, here it is.
Hey, we found it.
Here you go. There it is. And I think she got on these little things like you can. They're like these like blow up beds that go on the seat, so they'll be able to like lay down on the airplane. Because I think we're flying at night. Because I think the idea is at least to have the baby be able to sleep for as much as possible.
Because we have that too. I think it's called Flyaway. I don't know. It's essentially like a little air mattress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So sometimes we fly private. She usually flies private, like on the way. Like if it's just her flying with the kids, like
to a game or
Jupiter in St. Louis or something. Because they'll come out to St. Louis for like a couple months in the summer and they have school, so they go back and forth a little bit. So when she does that by herself, you're traveling by herself, and she brings the dog. So I'm private, but we're not bringing the dog to Arizona, and I'm going to be with them. So we're gonna do a commercial. So that'll be the first time that they've flown commercial. So I'm kind of worried a little bit. We'll see how it goes.
That's the
I think they'll be fine. I think they're good. We were trying to get them those suitcases that like turn into scooters.
Those are pretty cool.
I've seen those, but we couldn't find ones that we really liked. Or
for the airport?
Yeah.
Or for the airplane?
Whatever keeps them quiet.
Yeah. Hey, if they're quiet, it's good.
Whose kids are these?
My kids are big into snacks, so it's like you just got to bring, a lot of snacks, a lot of drinks, and just hope that no one.
Are they all different? Like, can they agree upon one thing? Is it the Cheez-It? Is the Cheez-It the number one airport snack?
Cheez-Its are good.
I heard that. Or peanut M&Ms. I don't know if it's true or not. That's what I heard.
I mean, like,
what are you packing for the kid? Like organic fruit roll-ups? See that guy? Are you doing?
Yeah, we're mostly like organic. Yeah. If it's a snack, it's mostly organic. You wouldn't believe. Like I didn't. I grew up on healthy food, but even things like goldfish. Lauren's like, don't give him goldfish. Look it up. Look and see what's going on with the goldfish. And I look it up. I'm not throwing at goldfish. They're delicious. I love them.
A snack that smiles back.
They smile back, but like the pretzel goldfish, I think are the best. And the pizza ones, they're all good, but like the over processed.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah,
same boat. Fishing pun. There we go.
But usually fruit like bananas, apples, anything we can get like fruit wise, like that's something that they all usually like. The little cuties, little tangerines, those ones.
Oh, yes, yes.
My wife taught them how to peel those, so now like they're crushing those, which is nice. So try to keep it as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta throw a bag of M&Ms at them, and
you having all this wisdom. We're wrapping this up here. I do want to ask you your favorite kid product. I know we don't do all the shopping. Our wives probably do a lot of the shopping, but I'm sure you have one product that you can think of. One product in the past, life changing. That if another guy is listening to this, is like you must have this to succeed. It could be for flying. It could be the blow-up air mattress. I recommend that Duna stroller. The one that folds from a car seat to you just pop.
No, we had all the Uppa Baby stuff.
Okay.
All the Uppa Baby stuff. Favorite kids product? Man.
Tablet. Could be the Fire.
Tablet.
I mean, saver. It's like crack for kids. Like it's the screens. They're so addictive.
Maybe it's a scooter, the luggage scooter.
The luggage
I'm
scooter.
going to look this thing up. I'm going to get
We
one.
don't have a lot of like gizmos. Like we try to keep everything pretty simple. Like they have pretty simple toys. Like we have a lot of balls and bats and frisbees and bikes and scooters. We don't have anything like super neat. A good comfy like that you can wear a kid in.
There we go.
Something that's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby's been rocking that.
To wear a kid in. God, there was one thing I couldn't think about because I was talking to someone else had a kid the other day, and I was like, "Oh, you don't have one of these? Like, you don't have one of these?"
Yeah.
So I just got this product. It's called the Aqua Roo, and it's the same thing. It's you put a kid in the front if you're going in the pool. So like 6-month-old, we're going to Hawaii for the NFLPA trip.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, they fly us out there. So I'm actually cringing about we're bringing the kids. It's only 2 though. It's only 2. We're going to stop halfway in California.
Okay.
See Nick Foles, his family, and then we're gonna take the rest of I think it's like 4 or 5 hours.
One of the most fun kid things that I've done is those trampoline parks, like the indoor and stuff.
Dude.
Yeah.
Took my
We
kids
bought a
there.
membership.
I had so much fun. I'm dripping sweat an hour in, like, come on, let's go hop on this. And they're like, Dad, we're like, relax. I'm like, come on, let's go.
Dunking on their hoops. You got to do everything.
Fun, man.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
When it gets cold, trampoline parks.
We got one here too in Jensen
It's
Beach.
so hot. It's in Florida. It's so hot. You got to go do something indoors.
Yeah.
Is there one somewhat around?
Yeah,
We need to
Jensen
get-
Beach.
Yeah.
There's one up in Jensen Beach, and there's one down off like Congress, like it's like 20 minutes south. It's pretty
There
good.
you go. We got
They
to
got
take
the
the
basketball
question.
hoops, like they've got the gladiator.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be good content.
The girls having the little things.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Q-tips are pretty fun.
I love it.
Dude. But this, Miles, we appreciate your time, man. I know you probably got practice tomorrow. But I'm going to hand this over to Josh. Any last questions you got?
Now, Miles, I just want to wish you best of luck for your World Baseball Classic.
Thank
It's the
you.
big one.
Thank you.
So you got a good team this year, and just wish you nothing but the best.
Trying to bring back a gold, whatever they give out for the USA.
Yeah.
A medal or whatever it is, but I want it in gold.
I love it.
We'll
Bring
be
it
cheering
back.
you on, man. You got
Yeah.
fans in us, so
Thanks.
we appreciate it. Hopefully we can see you out here before you guys take off to St. Louis.
Yeah,
That'll be nice.
I'm pitching Friday. If you guys have like 1:00 over Roger Dean.
Oh, nice. We'll have signs and everything.
Sounds good.
We'll join the Miles Crazies.
Yes.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, kids should be there. So
Love it.
Let's do it. But I'll close this out here. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone for listening to Locker Room Dads. You never know who we're going to have on next week. But until next time, we'll talk to you later. Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, recommended this amazing new nutrition line to me. As a professional athlete, I had to listen to hear what he had to say. So let me tell you, Mantra Labs is an absolute game changer. For all you dads out there looking to have more energy, better hydration, and better sleep, look no further. Mantra Labs is the stop for you. So we've actually partnered with them, and they provide 25% off everything on their site. So go visit them at gomantralabs.com. Enter Locker Room Dads with no space for 25% checkout.